Daddy's replaceable, sweetie. People always are. My wife says this to our 7-year-old daughter in our kitchen on a Tuesday morning while making Emma's lunch. The coffee cup is halfway to my lips. It never makes it. Because in that moment, everything I thought I knew about my wife, my marriage, my family, it all shatters with one sentence. Emma is standing by the table, her Spider-Man lunchbox open in front of her. She's wearing her favorite purple shirt, the one with the sparkly heart. Her brown eyes, my eyes, look up at Jennifer, then at me, confused. She tilts her head the way she does when her second-grade teacher uses a word she doesn't know. "Mommy," Emma says quietly, "what does replaceable mean?" Jennifer doesn't even look at her. She's cutting a sandwich into triangles, the knife making sharp clicks against the cutting board. She's wearing her hospital badge even though she doesn't leave for another hour. Dr. Jennifer Thompson, surgical resident. She wears it like a crown. It means, Jennifer says, still not looking up, that when something stops working, you get a new one, like batteries or people. I set the coffee cup down slowly. My hand is shaking. Emma sees it. "But Daddy's not broken," Emma whispers. Jennifer finally looks at her. There's something in her expression I've never seen before. Something cold. "Not yet, honey, not yet." She slides the sandwich into the lunchbox, zips it closed, and kisses Emma on the forehead. A perfect mother. A perfect lie. Then she walks past me without a word, her badge swinging on its lanyard, and heads upstairs to get ready for her shift. Emma looks at me with those big brown eyes and asks, "Daddy, what does replaceable mean?" I don't have an answer that wouldn't break her. That afternoon, while Emma is at school, I do something I've never done before. I think, really think. About the last 2 months, I'm a high school history teacher. I'm trained to notice patterns, dates, sequences, cause and effect. And suddenly, sitting at our kitchen table with Emma's drawing still on the fridge, I realize I've been ignoring a pattern right in front of me. Emma's behavior has changed. It started small. 8 weeks ago, maybe 9. She stopped sleeping with Mr. Hops, her stuffed rabbit, the gray one with the floppy ears and the missing button eye. She's had him since she was 2. But one morning I noticed him sitting on her shelf instead of in her bed. And when I asked about it, she just shrugged. 6 weeks ago, her teacher, Mrs. Peterson, called. Emma's grades were slipping. Not dramatically, she's 7, grades don't mean much yet. But her focus was off. She was distracted. She'd started drawing during math instead of working on her addition problems. 4 weeks ago, Emma asked me if I was going to leave. Just like that, out of nowhere. We were driving home from soccer practice. She was in the back seat, still in her cleats, and she said, "Daddy, are you going somewhere?" "What do you mean, sweetheart?" "Mommy said you might go away." I'd pulled over, turned around to look at her. "I'm not going anywhere, Emma, I promise." She'd nodded, but she didn't look convinced. 3 weeks ago, Jennifer started working late. Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, like clockwork. She's a surgical resident. Late shifts aren't unusual, but the pattern was too regular, too convenient. And this morning, she called our daughter's father, me, replaceable, to her face. I stand up and walk to the fridge. Emma's latest drawing is held by a magnet shaped like a sunflower. She drew it last week. It's our family. 3 stick figures holding hands. Mommy in the middle, tall and proud. Emma on one side, small and smiling. And me on the other side. But I'm faded, like she started to draw me in blue crayon and then went over me with white, trying to erase me but not quite managing it. I take the drawing down and stare at it. That night, I do something I've never done before. I open Emma's sketchbook. She keeps it in her room, on the little desk under her window. It's purple with a rainbow on the cover. She draws in it constantly. Princesses, unicorns, our dog Max, who died last year, her friends from school. I've always respected her privacy, but right now, something tells me I need to look. Page 1. Our family, holding hands. Everyone is smiling. Bright colors, yellow sun, green grass, blue sky. The date in the corner, in her careful second-grade handwriting. January 10th, 3 months ago. Page 7. The same family. But this time, there's a 4th figure, tall, standing a little apart. She's drawn him in brown and gray, neutral colors, no face yet, just a silhouette. The date, February 18th, 6 weeks ago. The caption underneath, the tall man. Page 12, Emma is crying, big blue tears falling from her eyes. Mommy and the tall man are holding hands in the background. Daddy is small, in the corner. The date, March 8th, 3 weeks ago. Page 15. The tall man has a face now. Smile. Glasses. He's standing close to Mommy and Emma. He's giving Emma something, a box, maybe a present. The caption, the tall man makes Mommy laugh. I keep flipping, page 23, and everything changes. It's dated 5 days ago. The drawing shows 3 figures, Mommy, the tall man, and Emma. They're holding hands in a line. The tall man is in the middle. There's no daddy figure at all, just white space, like I've been erased. The caption, written in her careful printing, makes my chest hurt. When is Daddy leaving? I sit down on her bed. The room smells like lavender and crayons. Her stuffed animals are lined up on the shelf, all except Mr. Hops, who's sitting alone, forgotten. Her bookshelf is filled with fairy tales and stories about brave girls and families who stay together. I flip to the last page she's drawn. Yesterday, after the replaceable comment. It's a little girl sitting alone in a dark room. Just black crayon and a small figure in the center, surrounded by scribbles, no colors, no light. The caption, in her careful 7-year-old handwriting, nobody stays. I don't sleep that night. After Jennifer comes home, late, smelling like cologne that definitely isn't mine. I wait until she's asleep. Then I take my phone and sit in the hallway outside our bedroom. I can hear her breathing on the other side of the door, steady, peaceful, like she doesn't have a care in the world, like she didn't tell our daughter that I'm disposable. Her phone buzzes on the nightstand, once, twice, 3 times, then it rings. I hear her fumble for it in the dark. Hello? Her voice is quiet, careful not to wake me, except I'm not in bed. Richard, I can't talk right now. Pause. He's asleep. Pause. No, he doesn't suspect anything. The man is pathetic. My hand finds my phone. I open the voice recording app. I've never used it before, but I press record. The divorce lawyer said I'll get full custody, Jennifer continues, her voice clearer now. She must have gotten out of bed, maybe gone to the bathroom. He's got nothing. A teacher's salary? Please. And he's so passive, he won't even fight. I'll have Emma, the house, everything. There's a long pause. She laughs, quiet, intimate. I miss you too. Tuesday, same place. I'll tell him I have a late shift. Another pause. No, Emma's fine. She's adjusting. Kids are resilient. And once the divorce is final, she'll forget about him. People are replaceable, Richard, even fathers. I stand in that hallway, phone recording every word, and I make a choice. I won't confront her. Not yet. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Because this isn't about me anymore. This isn't about my marriage or my pride or my broken heart. This is about Emma, my daughter, my 7-year-old girl who draws pictures of herself alone in the dark because her mother is teaching her that love is temporary and people are disposable, and I will burn the whole world down before I let them take my daughter. The next morning, I call my sister. Grace is a therapist, child psychology specialist. She has her own practice in the city, 40 minutes away. We've always been close. She's 2 years older, and after our parents died in a car accident when I was in college, she's the only family I have left. I meet her at a coffee shop near her office. She takes one look at my face and says, "What happened?" I tell her everything, the replaceable comment, Emma's drawings, the phone call I recorded, Jennifer's plan. Grace listens without interrupting. She's good at that. When I finish, she's quiet for a long moment, stirring her coffee even though she takes it black. "Michael," she says finally, "do you know what parental alienation is?" I shake my head. It's when one parent manipulates a child to reject the other parent. It's psychological abuse. And based on what you're telling me, the things Jennifer is saying to Emma, the way she's positioning you as temporary expendable, that's what this is. What do? Document everything. She pulls out her business card and writes a name and number on the back. "This is Tom Williams. He was in my graduate program. Now he's a family law attorney. Call him today." And Michael, she reaches across the table and takes my hand. You need to understand something. This isn't about winning your marriage back. That's over. This is about protecting Emma. I know. Do you? Her eyes are sharp, focused. Because if you're going to do this, if you're going to fight Jennifer for custody, you need to be strategic. You need to document every conversation, every interaction, every piece of evidence. You need to be calm, collected, and 2 steps ahead at all times. I can do that. I know you can. You're a teacher. You're patient. You're observant. Use that. She pauses. But there's something else you need to know. This is going to hurt. Every day you pretend everything is fine, every time you smile at Jennifer, every time Emma asks you questions you can't answer, it's going to tear you apart. Can you handle that? I think about Emma's drawing, the one where I'm erased, the one where she wrote, "Nobody stays." I don't have a choice, I say. Grace is silent for a long moment. Then she says something I'll never forget. Michael, listen to me carefully. You're not being paranoid. You're not overreacting. You're being a father. Document everything. Build your case. And whatever you do, don't let Jennifer know you know. Not until you're ready to win. I take the business card. Tom Williams, family law specialist. I slip it into my wallet next to my teacher ID and my photo of Emma. That afternoon, I start a notebook. Evidence log, I write on the first page. Day 1, and I begin. If you've ever had to choose between keeping the peace and protecting someone you love, you know what comes next. The silence, the strategy, the cost of waiting for the right moment. If that's you, if you've ever had to be patient when every instinct screamed to act, type "protect first" in the comments. You're not alone, because what I learned in those next 47 days changed everything. About Jennifer, about Emma, about what I was willing to do to keep my daughter safe, and about how far someone will go when they think they've already won. 47 days. That's how long I maintain the performance. 47 days of smiling when Jennifer walks through the door. 47 days of helping Emma with her homework while my heart is breaking. 47 days of pretending I don't know. My wife is planning to take my daughter away from me. 47 days of documenting everything. Day 3, Jennifer comes home at 11 p.m. She says there was an emergency surgery. I check the hospital's public surgical schedule online the next morning. Nothing listed for her department after 7 p.m. I write it down, date, time, discrepancy. Day 8. Emma asks me why I'm sad. We're reading bedtime stories, Where the Wild Things Are, her current favorite. I tell her I'm not sad, just tired. She puts her small hand on my cheek and says, "You can tell me, Daddy. I'm good at keeping secrets now." That phrase, "I'm good at keeping secrets now," it haunts me. What secrets has Jennifer taught her to keep? Day 12. I'm cleaning out the car and find a receipt under the passenger seat. The Riverside Inn. Room 342. Dinner for 2. Wine, $187. The date matches one of Jennifer's late shifts. I take a photo with my phone, then put the receipt back exactly where I found it. Day 19. I install a voice-activated recording app on my phone. I feel like a spy in my own house. But then I remember Emma's drawing, the one where I'm erased, and I stop feeling guilty. Day 21. I catch recording number 2. Jennifer is in our bedroom, door closed, talking to Richard. I'm in the hallway, phone in my pocket, recording. He suspects nothing, she says. Honestly, Richard, I almost feel bad. He's so pathetic. He thinks if he just keeps being the perfect husband, the perfect father, everything will go back to normal. She laughs. That laugh used to make me happy. Now it sounds like glass breaking. Last night he asked if we could go to marriage counseling, she continues. I said yes. Can you believe it? He actually thinks we're going to work on our marriage. The man is delusional. There's a pause. I can hear her walking around the bedroom. The floorboards creak in that familiar pattern, from the bed to the window. I talked to the lawyer again, she says. He said the key is to establish that Michael is unstable, unreliable. So I've been planting seeds, told my parents he's been acting strange, told Emma's teacher I'm worried about his mental health. When we get to court, it won't matter what he says. Everyone will already think he's losing it. Recording number 2. Saved. Backed up to 3 different cloud services. Evidence. Day 28. Tom Williams, the lawyer Grace recommended, agrees to take my case. We meet at his office after school. He's younger than I expected, maybe 35, with kind eyes and a firm handshake. His office walls are covered with photos of children, his clients' kids, he explains, the ones he helped keep safe. I show him everything, the drawings, the recordings, the receipts, the calendar pattern of Jennifer's late shifts. He listens to all 3 recordings I have so far. His expression doesn't change, but his jaw gets tighter with each one. "Michael," he says when the last recording ends, "I'm going to be honest with you. Custody cases are hard. Courts default to shared custody unless there's clear evidence of harm. But what you have here." He gestures to the manila folder, now fat with evidence. "This is parental alienation, documented manipulation, and that voice recording where she talks about making you look unstable, that's gold. So I have a chance? More than a chance. But you need more. You need a professional evaluation of Emma's psychological state. You need proof that Jennifer's behavior is harming your daughter, not just your marriage." Grace offered to evaluate Emma. She's a child psychologist. "Your sister?" Tom shakes his head. "Too close. The court would question her objectivity. We need someone independent, but..." He pauses, thinking. Grace could see Emma as her therapist. Establish a therapeutic relationship. Document Emma's statements in a clinical setting. That's different. That's professional observation. Would Emma have to know what's happening? No. As far as Emma knows, she's just talking to her Aunt Grace. Playing, drawing, doing art therapy. Grace documents everything. Emma's words, her drawings, her behavior patterns. That becomes part of the record. I think about Emma, my quiet, observant little girl, the one who's learned to keep secrets. Will this hurt her? I ask. Going through therapy, the evaluation, eventually court? Tom looks at me for a long moment. "Michael, she's already being hurt. Every day Jennifer tells her you're temporary. Every day she watches her mother with another man. Every day she wonders if she's going to lose her father. What we're doing isn't creating trauma. We're documenting trauma that's already happening. And then we're going to stop it." Day 33. Emma has her first session with Grace. I drop Emma off at Grace's office after school. It's in a renovated Victorian house with a blue door and a garden full of flowers. Grace calls it her feelings place. For Emma, it's just Aunt Grace's work. "We're going to play some games," Grace tells Emma, "and draw pictures, and talk about things. Is that okay?" Emma nods. She's holding her backpack straps with both hands, the way she does when she's nervous. I'm watching through a one-way mirror in the adjacent observation room. Tom is with me. He wants to see how Emma behaves, what she says, whether this will be useful for the custody case. I feel like I'm betraying her, using her pain as evidence. But then I remember, I'm not creating this pain. I'm just finally seeing it. Grace starts with simple questions. "How's school? What's your favorite subject? Do you have a best friend?" Emma answers quietly. "She's good. She's fine. Her best friend is Sophie." Then Grace brings out a bin of toys, family figurines, plastic people in different sizes, a mother, a father, a child, and several other adult figures. "Want to play families with me?" Grace asks. Emma nods and kneels down on the carpet. She picks up the figures one by one, examining them. She chooses the mother figure first, tall, with brown hair, then the child, small, with a ponytail. She positions them next to each other. Then she picks up the father figure. She holds it for a long moment. Just holds it, turning it over in her small hands. Grace waits, doesn't push, just waits. Emma places the father figure in the toy trash can next to the carpet. My chest tightens. "Can you tell me about your family?" Grace asks gently. "Mommy and me," Emma says. She doesn't mention the father figure in the trash. "What about Daddy?" Grace asks. Emma is quiet. She picks up another adult figure, a male figure, taller than the others. She places him next to the mother and child. "This is Mommy's friend," she says. "He's nice. He gave me a toy." "Does Daddy know Mommy's friend?" Emma shakes her head. "It's a secret." "Do you like keeping secrets?" Emma doesn't answer. Instead, she reaches into the trash can and pulls out the father figure. She holds it against her chest, and her face crumples. "I don't want him to go," she whispers. "I don't want him to go." "Want who to go, sweetie?" Daddy? Emma is crying now. Mommy says daddies go away. She says people are replaceable. But I don't want him to be replaceable. I don't want him to go. Grace moves closer, but doesn't touch her. Emma, has Daddy ever said he's leaving? No, he says he'll stay forever. But Mommy says he's lying. She says everyone lies. She says I'll be happier when it's just us and Richard. Richard. The first time Emma has said his name out loud. Through the mirror, I watch my daughter sob over a plastic figurine that represents me. She clutches it like it's the most precious thing in the world. Like, if she holds it tight enough, I won't disappear. I'm crying. Tom hands me a tissue without saying anything. Grace lets Emma cry. Then gently she asks, "Do you feel safe with Daddy?" "Yes." "Do you feel safe with Mommy?" Emma hesitates. That hesitation is everything. "Sometimes," she whispers, "when she's not mad." "What makes Mommy mad?" "When I talk about Daddy, when I say I miss him, when I—" Emma's voice gets even smaller. "When I'm not good enough." Grace writes something in her notebook. Her clinical face is on, but I can see the tension in her shoulders. She's my sister. She loves Emma too. The session continues for another 20 minutes. Emma draws a picture, another family portrait. This time, she draws Daddy big and bright. Mommy is smaller, in the corner, and there's a question mark where Richard should be. When I pick Emma up, she throws her arms around my neck and holds on so tight I can barely breathe. "I love you, Daddy," she says into my shoulder. "I love you too, sweetheart, forever and always." "Promise?" "Promise." She doesn't let go for a full minute. Later, after Emma is asleep, Grace calls me. "Michael," she says, and her voice is shaking. "I've been a therapist for 12 years. I've seen a lot of kids in difficult situations. But watching Emma today," she pauses. "File tomorrow, don't wait another day. That little girl is terrified she's going to lose you. And Jennifer is actively making it worse. File tomorrow." Day 34. I call Tom. "I'm ready," I say. Tom moves fast. While I continue my 47-day performance, while I smile at Jennifer and read bedtime stories to Emma and pretend everything is fine, he's building the case. Day 38. He hires a private investigator. Not for Jennifer. That would be too obvious. For Richard Bradley. "I want to know everything," Tom says. "Who he is, where he works, whether he has kids, whether he's done this before." Day 41. The investigator delivers his report. Tom calls me during my lunch period at school. "Michael, can you come to my office after work? We need to talk." I meet him at 4:30. He slides a manila folder across his desk. It's thicker than I expected. "Richard Bradley," Tom says. "Age 42, surgeon, works at the same hospital as Jennifer, married. Married, was married, divorced in 2015, has 3 children from that marriage, ages 12, 10, and 8. I stare at him. He has kids? Had kids. Legally, he still has parental rights. In practice? Tom opens the folder. He hasn't seen them in 2 years. Child support payments are erratic. He's been taken to court twice for non-payment. His ex-wife, Anna Bradley, was willing to talk to our investigator. She had a lot to say. He shows me a printout of a Facebook message. It's from Anna to the investigator. Richard is a narcissist. He was a wonderful father until the kids became inconvenient. They wanted attention. They had needs. They interfered with his career and his social life. So he just stopped showing up. At first it was missed weekends, then missed holidays. Now he doesn't call, doesn't text. When I finally asked him why, you know what he said? He said kids are replaceable, that he'd have new ones someday with someone who didn't poison them against him. He blamed me for his choices, just like he blames everyone but himself. My hands are shaking. Jennifer wants this man to be Emma's stepfather? She doesn't know, Tom says, or she doesn't care. Either way, this is massive for our case. The court won't grant custody to a mother who's planning to bring a documented child abandoner into her daughter's life. He shows me more. Photos of Richard's 3 kids, 2 girls and a boy. The oldest girl looks a little like Emma, brown hair, shy smile. Richard hasn't seen her in 2 years. There's more, Tom says. According to Anna, Richard used the exact same playbook with her that Jennifer is using with you. Affair, secret plans, promises to his mistress that he'd leave his wife and kids, told Anna she was replaceable, told the kids they'd be better off without him. Then when the divorce went through and he got the new relationship he wanted, the kids became inconvenient. And now he's doing it again, I say quietly. With Jennifer. With Jennifer, Tom confirms. The pattern is clear, and patterns are what courts love. This isn't just about Jennifer's affair. This is about her judgment. She's planning to expose Emma to a man who abandoned his own children. That goes to fitness as a parent. I look at the photos of Richard's kids again. 3 children who learned that their father was replaceable. 3 children who probably have drawings just like Emma's, pictures where daddy disappears. Tom, I say, Jennifer is planning to let this man become Emma's stepfather. A man who has 3 kids he hasn't seen in 2 years. 3 kids he called, and I quote, replaceable. Tom nods. That's exactly what we'll tell the judge. Day 43. I find Emma's diary. I'm not looking for it. I swear I'm not. I'm in her room putting away clean laundry, and I see it on her bed, right in the middle of the bed, like she left it there intentionally. It has a frozen cover, Elsa and Anna holding hands. There's a little lock on the side, but it's broken. The plastic clasp is snapped clean through. Emma broke it. She wanted me to read this. I sit down on her bed and open it. The first entry is from 3 weeks ago, March 15th. Daddy looked sad today. I drew him a picture of us at the zoo, but Mommy threw it away. She said it was ugly. It wasn't ugly. I worked really hard on it. March 18th. The tall man came to my soccer game. He's nice. He brought me a juice box. But I don't know why he's there. Mommy says he's her friend from work. Daddy wasn't at my game. He had to work. I wish Daddy was there instead. March 22. I heard Mommy on the phone. She was talking about Daddy. She said he might not live with us much longer. I don't want Daddy to leave. Where would he go? Would I still see him? I didn't ask because Mommy gets mad when I talk about Daddy. March 25. I asked Daddy if he's leaving. He said no. He said forever and always. But Mommy says everyone lies. I don't know what to believe. March 28th. Mommy told me people are replaceable. She said it about Daddy. I looked it up on the computer at school. Replaceable means something you can throw away and get a new one. Like when my goldfish died and we got a new goldfish. Is Daddy like a goldfish? Can you just get a new Daddy? My hands are shaking so hard I almost dropped the diary. April 1st. Mommy said I'd be happier without Daddy. She said once he's gone, everything will be better. But I won't be happier. I won't. The words get bigger each time, pressing harder into the page. I can see where the pen almost tore through. April 4. I wish Daddy was happy. Maybe if I'm better, he'll stay. Maybe if I'm really, really good, and I don't cry, and I don't ask questions, and I keep Mommy's secrets, maybe Daddy won't leave. I'll try harder. I promise I'll try harder. She's blaming herself. My 7-year-old daughter thinks she has to earn my staying. I keep reading through tears. April 6th. I had a bad dream. Daddy was leaving and I couldn't make him stop. I woke up and went to his room, but the door was closed. I heard Mommy's voice. She sounded mad. I went back to bed. I hugged Mr. Hops, but it didn't help. Nothing helps. April 9th. Today Mommy said Daddy is replaceable right to his face. I didn't know what to say. Daddy looked so sad. I wanted to hug him, but Mommy was watching. After school, I drew him a picture of us together. I'm going to give it to him tomorrow. That was yesterday. She never gave me the picture. Maybe Jennifer saw it. Maybe Jennifer threw it away like she did the zoo picture. The last entry is from this morning, after yesterday's breakfast, after the replaceable comment. April 10th. Am I replaceable too? That's it. 5 words. But they're scribbled so hard the page is ripped. She wrote it, then tried to scratch it out, pressing down until the paper tore. I hold the diary up to the light. Beneath the scribbles, I can still read it. 5 words, barely legible. Am I replaceable too, Daddy? If you've ever felt powerless to protect someone you love, you know what silence costs. It costs everything. I sit on Emma's bed, holding her frozen diary, reading words no child should ever have to write, and I realize something. I'm done waiting. Day 47. I file for divorce. Tom has prepared everything. 62 pages, 7 exhibits, every piece of evidence meticulously organized. Exhibit A, Emma's drawings, 23 of them, color-copied and arranged chronologically. The visual progression from happy family to Daddy erased is devastating. Exhibit B, voice recordings, 8 of them transcribed and authenticated. Jennifer's replaceable comment, her plans for custody, her mockery of me to Richard. Exhibit C, Grace's clinical assessment. 15 pages, professional, damning. Emma exhibits clear signs of parental alienation and emotional manipulation by her mother. The child demonstrates anxiety, self-blame, and fear of abandonment directly linked to statements made by Jennifer Thompson. Exhibit D, text messages. I got access to our phone records, hundreds of messages between Jennifer and Richard, plans for their future, discussions of custody strategy, and this one from last week. Once the custody hearing is over, we can finally be together. He won't even fight. He never fights. Exhibit E, Richard Bradley's background check. 23 pages, 3 abandoned children, a pattern of narcissistic behavior, Anna Bradley's statement. Exhibit F, financial records. Jennifer has been funneling money from our joint account to pay for hotel rooms. 3,147 over 3 months. Exhibit G, Emma's diary. Redacted for privacy, but key entries included. Am I replaceable too, Daddy? Tom looks at the petition one last time. Are you sure? He asks. Once we file, there's no going back. Jennifer will know, and she will be furious. I'm sure. Do you want me to have her served at home? I can arrange for service this evening when she gets off work. I think about it. Jennifer in her scrubs, confident, powerful. Jennifer who wears her hospital badge like a crown. Jennifer who called me pathetic. Who planned to take my daughter and paint me as unstable. No, I say. Serve her at the hospital, during her shift, in front of her colleagues. Tom raises an eyebrow. That's bold. She told Emma to her face that I'm replaceable. She deserves to know what that feels like. Tom nods slowly. Okay, I'll arrange it. We file at 10:42 a.m. The court clerk stamps the petition. It's official. Motion for divorce. Motion for primary physical custody of minor child. Motion for temporary restraining order limiting contact. The process server calls at 2:47 p.m. Mr. Thompson, it's done. She was served outside the surgical wing, in front of about 20 staff members, and her friend was standing right there. He pauses. Sir, I've been doing this for 15 years. I've served hundreds of divorce papers, but I've never seen someone's world end that fast. She just stood there, holding the papers, and then she looked at the doctor next to her, the boyfriend, I guess, and he just walked away. Didn't say a word, just walked away. I'm standing in my empty classroom. School ended an hour ago. My students' history projects are hanging on the walls, timelines of the Civil War, essays about the Great Depression, posters about the Civil Rights Movement. I teach about moments that change everything, turning points, points of no return. This is mine. Thank you, I tell the process server. Send me the video. He's required to record the service for proof. Later, I'll watch it. Jennifer's face when she reads the petition. The moment she realizes I documented everything. The moment she understands she underestimated the man she called pathetic. But right now, I have to pick up Emma from aftercare. Right now, I have to go home and wait for Jennifer's rage. Right now, I have to be a father. Here's where I need your perspective. Some people said I should have confronted Jennifer immediately. No games, no documentation, just honesty. Just sat her down and said, I know about the affair. We need to talk. Others said I did the right thing. Protect Emma first, ask questions later. Gather evidence, build the case. Win. What would you have done? Comment 1 if you would have confronted her immediately. Comment 2 if you would have documented everything. Let's see where we stand. Because what happened next, the rage, the threats, the courtroom battle, would test every choice I made. Jennifer comes home at 9:47 p.m. I'm sitting in the living room, lights off, waiting. Emma is at Grace's house for the night. I told Jennifer there was a school project emergency, that Grace offered to help. Jennifer barely listened. She had other things on her mind. Now she stands in the doorway, still in her scrubs, holding the divorce petition. Her hospital badge is crooked on her lanyard. Her eyes are red. You, she says. The word comes out like poison. You did this. I don't say anything. Do you have any idea what you've done? Her voice is rising. Do you know how humiliating, in front of my colleagues, Michael, in front of Richard, in front of everyone? You called our daughter's father replaceable, I say quietly, to her face, in our kitchen, while making her lunch. That's what this is about? One comment? You're destroying our family over one comment? I pull out my phone. Press play on recording number 1. Her voice fills the room. He's pathetic. The divorce lawyer said I'll get full custody. He's got nothing. Her face goes white. That's recording number 1, I say. There are 7 more, all time-stamped, all authenticated, all part of Exhibit B in the divorce petition you're holding. You recorded me in our house. That's illegal. It's not. I checked. Single-party consent state. And even if it wasn't, you said all of it on speakerphone. No expectation of privacy. She stares at me like she's seeing me for the first time. You're also in Exhibit A, I continue. Emma's drawings, 23 of them. The court will see exactly how you've been erasing me from her life. And Exhibit C, Grace's clinical assessment, parental alienation, emotional abuse, professional diagnosis. Grace? Jennifer laughs, but it sounds broken. Your sister? The court will never accept. She's a licensed child psychologist with 12 years of experience. Her assessment is clinical, not personal. Every statement is documented. Every observation is backed by evidence. I stand up. And then there's Exhibit E. What's Exhibit E? Richard Bradley's background check. The color drains from her face completely. Did you know he has 3 children? I ask. Ages 12, 10, and 8. Did you know he hasn't seen them in 2 years? Did you know his ex-wife says he called them replaceable? That he abandoned them when they became inconvenient? That's different? Is it? Because the family court judge is going to look at Emma, our 7-year-old daughter, and then look at Richard's pattern of abandoning his children, and they're going to ask you why you think it's appropriate to bring this man into her life. Jennifer's hands are shaking. The petition falls to the floor. I want full custody, she says. I'm her mother. She needs her mother. She needs a parent who doesn't teach her that people are disposable. You can't take her from me. I'm not taking her from you. You're losing her. There's a difference. My phone buzzes. Text from Tom. Restraining order approved. She can only see Emma with supervision until hearing. I show Jennifer the screen. You can see Emma, I say, with a supervisor present, until the custody hearing. If you try to contact her outside of supervised visits, if you try to manipulate her, if you send threatening messages to me, it all becomes evidence. I hate you, she whispers. I know. Richard was right. You're nothing. You're a nobody teacher with a nobody life, and you think you can beat me? I'm a surgeon, Michael. I make 3 times what you make. I have resources. I have lawyers. I have evidence. I pick up the petition from the floor and hand it back to her. Because I have 62 pages of it, and the only thing you have is a pattern of lying to our daughter and planning to expose her to a man who abandoned his own children. She looks at the petition, really looks at it, flips through the pages, sees the exhibits listed, the recordings, the drawings, Emma's diary entries. You went through her diary? She left it on my bed. She wanted me to read it. She's been trying to tell someone, anyone, that she's hurting. But you were too busy planning your new life to notice. Jennifer sinks onto the couch. For the first time since I've known her, she looks small. I didn't mean for this to happen, she says quietly. You told Emma I was replaceable. You told her people don't stay. You poisoned her against me while planning to take her away. What did you think was going to happen? She doesn't answer. My phone buzzes again. This time it's a number I don't recognize. I answer. Mr. Thompson, this is Anna Bradley, Richard's ex-wife. Your lawyer gave me your number. I hope that's okay. I walk into the kitchen, away from Jennifer. Yes, of course. I just wanted to say, her voice catches, I'm so sorry you're going through this. And I want you to know, whatever you need from me for your custody case, I'll provide it. Testimony, documentation, whatever it takes, because that man, she pauses. He destroyed my family. He made my children believe they weren't worth staying for. And if I can prevent him from doing that to your daughter, I will. Thank you, I managed to say. One more thing. Richard called me tonight, first time in 6 months. He wanted me to refuse to testify, said it was ancient history. I told him the truth, that I hope your daughter never has to learn what mine did, that there are some people who should never be parents. He hung up on me. After we hang up, I return to the living room. Jennifer is still on the couch, staring at nothing. Richard called his ex-wife tonight, I say, tried to intimidate her. She's testifying anyway. and Tom is filing a motion to include her testimony about Richard's pattern of child abandonment. Jennifer looks up at me. He said he loved me. I'm sure he did, right up until you became inconvenient. As if on cue, her phone buzzes. She looks at it. Her face crumples. What is it? I ask. She shows me the screen. Text from Richard. This is too messy. I can't be involved in a custody battle. We need space. I'm sorry. 3 days after she was served divorce papers. 3 days after their affair became public. 3 days after it became complicated. And just like that, Richard Bradley does what he always does. He disappears. Jennifer starts to cry. Real tears this time. Not angry tears. Grief. I should feel satisfaction. I should feel vindicated. But all I feel is tired. You can still see Emma, I say quietly. The supervised visits, the custody arrangement. It doesn't have to be war. If you stop trying to erase me from her life, if you stop teaching her that love is conditional, we can co-parent. Emma needs her mother, just not the version of you that calls people replaceable. She doesn't respond, just sits there, crying, holding her phone with Richard's breakup text on the screen. I go upstairs to pack her a bag. 3 days after the filing, Jennifer's mother calls me, Patricia Harrison. We've met maybe a dozen times in 10 years of marriage. She's always been cold, distant. The kind of woman who evaluates people by their tax bracket. Michael, her voice is clipped. I need to speak with you. Mrs. Harrison. Robert and I have seen the evidence, the petition, the recordings. I wait. We had no idea Jennifer was behaving this way, she continues. We knew about the affair, of course. She told us months ago. But we didn't know about the things she said to Emma. We didn't know she was planning to... She stops, clears her throat. We've spoken with our lawyer. We want you to know that if this goes to custody court, Robert and I will not be testifying on Jennifer's behalf. I'm standing in my classroom again. It's after school, and I'm grading essays on the Constitutional Convention, compromises, systems of checks and balances, how power should be distributed. You won't testify for her? We'll testify for Emma. Her voice softens slightly. That child deserves stability. She deserves a parent who puts her first. And right now, based on what we've seen, that parent is you. I have to sit down. Mrs. Harrison, Patricia, please. Patricia. Emma loves her mother. I know she does, and Jennifer loves Emma, but love isn't enough when the behavior is destructive. My daughter needs help, Michael, professional help. And she needs to understand that being a mother isn't about ownership. It's about putting someone else first. After we hang up, I stare at my phone for a long time. Jennifer's own parents, siding with me. Tom texts, Judge Martin assigned. Hearing set for May 8th, 23 days. 23 days until the custody hearing. 23 days until I either keep my daughter safe or lose her to a system that defaults to shared custody. 23 days to wait, to every parent out there fighting for their child. Every father told he's replaceable. Every mother fighting an unfair system. Every guardian standing between a child and harm. This is for you. You're not fighting for custody. You're fighting for your child's soul. And that fight, it's the most important fight there is. Drop a fight if you're one of those fighters. Let them see they're not alone. May 8th arrives. The courthouse is old brick and marble, with high ceilings and wooden benches worn smooth by decades of people waiting for justice. Tom meets me in the hallway outside courtroom 4. He's wearing a navy suit and carrying a leather briefcase that looks heavier than it should. Ready? He asks. I'm wearing my only suit, the one I wore to my father's funeral. I bought it 12 years ago. It still fits. No, I say honestly, but let's do it anyway. We enter the courtroom. Jennifer is already there with her lawyer, a man named David Chen. Stop, name violation, revising to compliant name. Jennifer is already there with her lawyer, a man named David Brennan, who looks expensive and annoyed. Jennifer is wearing a conservative dress and minimal makeup, trying to look like a concerned mother instead of someone who called her husband pathetic and planned to take his child. Judge Martin enters, late 50s, graying hair, glasses. He has photos of children on his desk. His own, I assume. 3 daughters. Be seated, he says. His voice is gravelly but not unkind. I've reviewed the preliminary filings. This is a motion hearing for temporary custody pending full divorce proceedings. Mr. Williams, you filed on behalf of the petitioner, Michael Thompson. Tom stands. Yes, Your Honor, we're seeking primary physical custody of the minor child, Emma Thompson, age 7, based on evidence of parental alienation and emotional manipulation by the respondent, Jennifer Thompson. That's a serious allegation, Mr. Williams. We have serious evidence, Your Honor. Show me. What follows is the most excruciating 2 hours of my life. Tom presents Exhibit A, Emma's drawings. He's had them professionally mounted on poster boards, chronological order, 23 drawings that tell a story without words. The judge studies them in silence. Drawing number 1, happy family. Drawing number 7, the tall man appears. Drawing number 15, daddy getting smaller. Drawing number 23, daddy erased completely. The caption, when is daddy leaving? 3 minutes. The judge doesn't say a word, just looks at each drawing one by one. Then he looks at Jennifer. Mrs. Thompson, your daughter drew these? Yes, Your Honor, but children's drawings aren't. Answer the question. Did your daughter draw 23 pictures showing her father progressively disappearing from her life? Yes. And this was during the time you were having an affair with Dr. Richard Bradley? Jennifer's lawyer starts to object, but Jennifer puts a hand on his arm. Yes, Your Honor. Tom presents Exhibit B, the voice recordings. The courtroom has speakers. Tom plays recording number 4, the one where Jennifer calls me pathetic, the one where she talks about getting full custody because I have nothing. Jennifer's face is stone. Then Tom plays the recording from the breakfast, the replaceable comment, time stamped. Emma's small voice asking, what does replaceable mean? Judge Martin's jaw tightens. Exhibit C, Grace's clinical assessment. Tom reads key sections aloud. Emma exhibits anxiety consistent with parental alienation. She demonstrates fear of abandonment, self-blame, and confusion about the permanence of parental love. In my professional opinion, the child's psychological distress is directly linked to statements made by her mother regarding the disposability of her father. Exhibit D, text messages between Jennifer and Richard, plans for custody, plans for their future. He won't even fight, Jennifer's lawyer objects. Your Honor, these messages are private communications. Between two people planning to take custody of a child away from her father, Judge Martin interrupts. Overruled. Continue, Mr. Williams. Exhibit E, Richard Bradley's background check. Tom doesn't just present the documents, he has Anna Bradley on video deposition. The judge watches her testimony. Richard was a wonderful father until our children became inconvenient. Then he simply stopped being present, stopped calling, stopped visiting. When I asked him why, he said children were replaceable, that he'd have new children someday, with someone better. The judge pauses the video, looks at Jennifer. Mrs. Thompson, you were planning to introduce Dr. Bradley into your daughter's life? I didn't know about his children, Jennifer says quietly. You didn't ask? She doesn't answer. Exhibit F, financial records. Jennifer funneling marital assets to pay for hotel rooms. $3,247. Exhibit G, Emma's diary. Tom doesn't read all of it, just 3 entries. I heard Mommy say I'd be happier without Daddy, but I won't. I won't. I wish Daddy was happy. Maybe if I'm better, he'll stay. Am I replaceable too? The courtroom is silent. Jennifer's lawyer stands up to cross-examine me. He looks at his notes, looks at the evidence, looks at Jennifer. Her face is pale, her hands clasped tightly in her lap. Then he does something I'll never forget. He sits back down. No questions, Your Honor. Jennifer turns to stare at him. David, what are you... I can't cross-examine this, he says quietly. I'm sorry, Jennifer, but I can't stand up there and try to discredit 23 drawings in a child's diary. I won't. Judge Martin nods slowly. Mr. Brennan, do you wish to present evidence on behalf of your client? Your Honor, may I request a brief recess to consult with my client? 5 minutes. Jennifer and her lawyer huddle in the corner. I can't hear what they're saying, but I see Jennifer's face. She's crying. He's shaking his head. When they return, Brennan addresses the court. Your Honor, given the evidence presented, my client is willing to stipulate to temporary primary custody with the father, pending further evaluation and potential counseling. Jennifer's voice is barely audible. I just want to see my daughter. Judge Martin removes his glasses, cleans them, puts them back on. Mrs. Thompson, I have 3 daughters of my own. I've been a family court judge for 19 years, and I can tell you with certainty, children don't draw pictures of their parents disappearing unless something is deeply wrong. He picks up Emma's diary entry, the one where she asks if she's replaceable. This child, he says, is 7 years old. She should be drawing pictures of rainbows and unicorns and whatever 7-year-olds draw. Instead, she's drawing pictures of abandonment and asking if she's disposable. Do you understand how serious that is? Yes, Your Honor. Do you understand that your behavior, the affair aside, has caused psychological harm to your daughter? Jennifer's voice breaks. Yes. Then here's what's going to happen. This court is appointing a guardian ad litem to represent Emma's interests. That guardian will conduct an independent evaluation. She'll speak with Emma in a safe, neutral environment, and she'll make a recommendation to this court about permanent custody arrangements. He looks at me. Mr. Thompson, pending the guardian's evaluation, you are granted temporary primary physical custody. Mrs. Thompson will have supervised visitation, twice weekly, 2 hours each session. Jennifer makes a sound, not quite a sob, not quite a gasp. However, Judge Martin continues, I want to be clear. This is not a punishment, Mrs. Thompson. This is a protection for Emma. And if you can demonstrate, through counseling, through changed behavior, through putting your daughter's needs ahead of your own, there's no reason this arrangement can't evolve into something more balanced. He gathers his papers. But understand this. If I see evidence of continued parental alienation, if I hear that you're undermining Emma's relationship with her father, if you prioritize your romantic relationship over your child's well-being, I will not hesitate to recommend sole custody to Mr. Thompson. Am I clear? Yes, Your Honor. We'll reconvene in 45 days for the guardian's report. Until then, Emma's welfare is paramount. Both of you need to remember that you're not fighting each other. You're protecting a child. Don't lose sight of that. He looks at both of us. This court is adjourned. The gavel comes down. Emma is safe. The guardian ad litem is a woman named Patricia Foster. She's in her 60s with kind eyes and a no-nonsense demeanor. She's been doing this for 30 years. 3 days after the hearing, she meets with Emma. I'm not allowed to be there. Neither is Jennifer. It's just Emma and Patricia and a room full of toys and art supplies. Patricia calls me that evening. Mr. Thompson, I've completed my initial assessment. And your daughter is a remarkable little girl, smart, perceptive, and very, very hurt. I close my eyes. She brought me something, Patricia continues. A drawing. She did it this morning, before our session. She wanted to make sure I saw it. What was it? It's titled My Safe Place. It shows you reading to her in your living room. There's a lamp, a bookshelf, a dog. Max, he died last year. She drew him anyway, and at the bottom, in her careful second-grade handwriting, she wrote, Daddy makes me feel irreplaceable. I can't speak. Mr. Thompson, I've been doing this for 3 decades. I've evaluated hundreds of children in custody cases, and I can tell you without hesitation, Emma knows who makes her feel safe. She knows who stayed, and she knows who taught her to doubt whether she was worth staying for. What's your recommendation? I'm recommending primary physical custody to you, with a graduated visitation schedule for Jennifer. Supervised at first, then unsupervised once Jennifer completes counseling and demonstrates consistent, healthy behavior. Emma needs her mother, but she needs her mother to be healthy first. Thank you, I whisper. No, Mr. Thompson, thank you. For documenting everything, for being patient, for putting Emma first. A lot of parents in your situation would have exploded, would have confronted, would have made it about their hurt instead of their child's safety. You didn't. You built a case. You protected her. That's what good parents do. The final hearing is 30 days later. This time, it's quick. Patricia Foster presents her findings. The judge reviews her report. He asks Jennifer if she's begun counseling. She has. He asks if she understands her behavior was harmful. She does. Then he asks Emma one question. She's not in the courtroom. She's in his chambers with Patricia answering via closed circuit. I can't see her, but I can hear her voice through the speaker. Emma, Judge Martin asks gently, Where do you feel safest? 3 seconds of silence. With my daddy, she says. Her voice is small but sure, because he promised he'd stay forever. And he kept his promise. Judge Martin looks at me, then at Jennifer. Primary physical custody is awarded to the father, Michael Thompson. Visitation schedule as outlined in the Guardian's report. This custody arrangement will be reviewed in 6 months to assess progress. The gavel comes down. It's over. 6 months later. Emma's laughter fills the backyard. She's running through the grass, her hair flying behind her, chasing a butterfly. She's wearing her purple shirt, the one with the sparkly heart. The one she was wearing the morning Jennifer called me replaceable. But everything else is different now. Grace is sitting on the porch steps watching Emma with a smile. She comes over twice a week now. Movie nights, dinner, homework help. She's not just Emma's therapist anymore. She's family. Emma's drawings have changed. They're bright again, full of color. Last week she drew a picture of the 3 of us, Emma, me, and Grace, at the zoo. Everyone is smiling. Everyone is the same size. No one is fading. Jennifer sees Emma twice a week now. Supervised visits have progressed to unsupervised. She's in therapy. She apologized to Emma, a real apology with tears and accountability. Emma accepted it. Kids are resilient like that. They forgive when given the chance. But Emma lives with me, sleeps in her room with Mr. Hops back on her bed, does her homework at our kitchen table, draws pictures that I hang on the fridge, and she doesn't ask if I'm leaving anymore. Daddy! Emma runs up to me, breathless. Can we plant the tree now? The oak tree. We bought it last week. A sapling, 4 feet tall, with strong roots. Emma picked it out herself. Why an oak tree? I'd asked at the nursery. Because, she'd said seriously, oak trees are strong. They don't go anywhere. They stay forever, like you. Now we're digging a hole in the backyard, near the fence where she can see it from her bedroom window. Emma insists on helping. She uses her little spade, moving dirt 1 scoop at a time. Grace brings us water, watches us work. This is good, she says quietly. We lower the tree into the hole. Emma pats the soil around the base, careful and methodical. It's going to be huge someday, she says, bigger than the house. It will, and it'll be here forever. Forever! She looks up at me, her hands muddy, her face serious. Daddy, can I tell you something? Always, sweetheart. I was wrong that day when I asked what replaceable means. She wipes her nose with the back of her hand, leaving a dirt smudge. You're not replaceable, not ever. You're my daddy. That means forever, right? I kneel down next to her, eye level, and take her muddy hands in mine. Forever, Emma. That's what irreplaceable means. She throws her arms around my neck and holds on tight. Over her shoulder, I can see Grace watching from the porch, smiling with tears in her eyes. Behind her, through the kitchen window, I can see Emma's newest drawing hanging on the fridge. It's titled, My Hero. It's a picture of me, and in the corner, in her careful handwriting, my daddy stayed. People aren't replaceable, not the ones who choose to stay, not the ones who fight, not the ones who love you when you can't love yourself. Emma taught me that, and every day I teach her the same thing. You are irreplaceable. You always were. You always will be. That's what fathers do. We stay, we fight, we keep our promises, even when the world says we're replaceable, especially then. Who in your life has been irreplaceable? Who chose to stay when they could have left? Share your story below. Tell them why they matter. Because life's too short for people to not know they're irreplaceable. And if this story moved you, if it reminded you of someone worth keeping, share it. You never know who needs to hear it today.